Today we're going to go over the frontal film, how to analyze it, how to make sure that it's actually good quality film, so that you can actually get all the factors that you need to adjust the person. I'll go ahead and take out the overlay. So the first thing first, you want to make sure you do the bone enhancement, make it go up to about 80% so it's nice and clear. Make sure you can see everything. I'll zoom on up, that way I can see all the different parts of the anatomy. First thing I want to do as far as annotations is place down the AO main calculations right here. Just place them on the film, anywhere really doesn't really matter, just kind of put it out of the way though. Next thing I want to do is mark the sutures on both sides of the body. Sometimes you can do it with a line like that. Personally, I like to use the arrow, but it's however you'd like to do it. So arrow just kind of keys in where it needs to go. Next step is we're going to do the FCL, so the frontal cephalic line. I'm just going to place it on the skull, and bring it down to the top suture, and then you want to make sure it's balanced, it's symmetrical. Okay. So I want you to notice that it hits that corner right there, hits that corner right there, going on the other side, hits that corner on the left, and that corner right there. So now we know that it is balanced on both sides, and if I wanted to, I can go ahead and do the zoning procedure, and the secondary zones of the B through E, those should correlate with my findings of the AB zone. So now we'll go ahead and bring it down just to verify. So again, it's symmetrical. Right here, again symmetrical. Now let's just say it was really rotated, just to show you a quick example of how it would not be symmetrical. If I go back on the AB line, notice how it's on the top of that suture, perfect right through here, but then as I come on the other side, instead of hitting symmetrically on the right side, it's now going off farther. So it's not symmetrical. Bring it back down. Once you're ready to make your mark, you just press the question mark and it makes the red line going all the way straight down. Now for the next part, the AFP. The AFP, you're going to choose the different spots. So you have the superior lateral mass right there. We'll zoom in. Let's go ahead and make lines for the other ones. So you can see how the posterior arch comes into the lateral mass right there. So there's one mark, and we're going to follow this all the way right there also. Okay, and now the same thing for on this side. So here's the posterior arch coming into the lateral mass, and then following it around, posterior arch to lateral mass, extend it out, and then the inferior lateral mass. At that point, we're going to superimpose these lines just to see if there is a best fit. So it looks like the inferior lateral mass is the one that we want to keep. At that point, we're going to take this X, bring it into the lateral border of the mandible, right there. And we zoom out, now we actually have an ACD and we have an AFP. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and do the AXSP. It's called AXP on the program. You can see the dens right here. We want to go on the lateral edges of the dens and look for the spinous process, which is this right here. You want to go short of the apex, and then quickly make the 2 marks down there so you can scroll down and find C7. So you want to find the body of C7, which is right here. That's one edge, and also right here. So drag those 2 down, and drag that one down. Now as you zoom out, notice that you have a CSP now, and you're starting to have the A over C. At that point, we need to do the condylar circle. So zoom up again. Make sure that you put the 2 markings on the outside lateral edges. So here's the condylar circle right there and right there. So we'll place one down, place one on the other side, 1/4 inch in and 1/4 inch in. Now we need to measure to make sure that that's actually a 1/4 inch. Alright, so I need to bring these ones down farther, and this one down farther. And I can delete that, delete that. Now we need to make sure that these dots are not going into the actual condyle itself. So bring it out just a little bit so that it just hugs right up into the condyle as it should. Same thing on this side, that one's good. This one can be brought out just a smidge more. Okay. Now at that point, that's going to give us a calculated condylar circle. You can see that it is at 3.17. So I'm going to come back up. Now place the condyle circles template to place this down. A little bit of a lag because of the video. But what we want to do is see if we can get a line perfectly fit along each of those circles. So it doesn't quite fit for the 3 and also doesn't quite fit for the 3.5. So it was right in the middle, so 3.25. So I press question mark, enter in 3.25. At that point, you can see the C is now 3.25. Now what we want to do is check for the condylar aberrancy. So again, we're going to zoom up, place a marked dot on the lateralmost border of the condyles. And then we're going to click on the cervical aberrancy tool, the ABB. Place it down. Make sure it's symmetrical. You can see how there's the 2 right there, there's 2 right there, so we're now symmetrical on both sides at a negative 0.3 degrees. I'm going to zoom back out, scroll this up. I want to be above both sutures. So there's a suture and there's a suture. Now let's look on this right side first. So coming over in, see that 2 line right there? How it perfectly matches the contour of the skull. So we've got to remember that 2 on this left side. Notice how the right's on the opposite side. Or we can go ahead and flip this around. So we're actually looking at the right side. So now, looking at the left, that's perfectly how it should be. So remember 2 on the left. And we're going to drag this onto the right. The 1 doesn't quite work. And go to the 2, and it works out perfectly. So she is actually symmetrical on both sides. So she does not have an aberrancy. So I'm going to press the question mark again, enter in 0, and press enter. At that point, now this is updated with the condylar aberrancy, which she has none. Now let's just say that we do that condylar aberrancy again, but now if we were to measure it out, let's just assume we had a 1 on this side and a 2 on this side. Well, that's going to be driving it from the larger number to the smaller number. And that's going to be 2 to the 1 right there. However, what you're going to enter in is some math. So it's going to be 2 minus 1, and you're going to times that by 2. So the answer is 2. Now you can see how that changes the ACD to the right just by a tad. I'll go ahead and show you how it would be on the other side. If it was a 2 on the right side and a 1 on the left side, then we would actually have a negative 1, but you have to times it by 2. That's going to be that number, driving it farther to the left. So make that k-variance back to 0, as it should. From here, we just need to copy over the numbers that we have from the horizontal and from the axial circle. So we already have done the axial circle. We'll bring that over, grab the axial circle template, place it down, click on it, and press the question mark, and enter in what we have, which is 6, right there. Now we haven't actually analyzed the horizontal yet, but let's just go ahead and place in an arbitrary number. Double click on the AO calculations, and that opens up this window right here, and you would type in the degree that it needs to be. So let's just assume 1 degree. And that's how you would analyze the frontal film.